Hello, beautiful people. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Akira.
And I'm KyAlea.
This is our movie review for Gravity, starring George Clooney, Sandra Bullock, directed by Alfonso Cuarón. What do you have to say about this movie, Gravity?
This was an amazing film. You definitely have to see it in 3D, IMAX 3D if you can. But there's, Cuarón did a phenomenal job using 3D in an artistic way to really capture the environment. You really feel like you're in space, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it uses it really more like as a tool than just a gimmick to, you know, pull more dollars out of your pocket to go see it in 3D.
It's not distracting. And the sound, the way that they, you know, used the sound effects and then the score. The score was amazing too.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. I think like 99% of us, like on Earth, have never been in space. So a lot of things, you know, throughout the movie, you can hear the sounds, but they echo through their suit, and it almost sounds like they're underwater. But that's something I think all of us can kind of connect with. I felt like, you know, all of us have all been underwater. A lot of us have been underwater, and you can hear there's a sort of sound that happens. There's like an echo, and when they're, you know, when they're in space, you know, and the sounds that they hear, aside from, you know, the sounds of them breathing in their suit and the sense of panic, but you know, when it comes from them opening a hatch door or grabbing onto something and, you know, unscrewing something, you get this sense, this feel that you're right there in the moment with the actors. You know, it was really amazing.
The storyline of this movie is really simple, and I think that's what makes this an incredible film. Is you have two really strong actors that really carry this movie, and you have
George Clooney and Sandra Bullock. George Clooney is your veteran astronaut. You know, he's been there, done that several times, you know, but he's also a trained fighter pilot, you know, and he exudes this sort of confidence, like effortlessly throughout the film. And Sandra Bullock plays our subject matter expert sent up there, you know, to, you know, carry out her research and repair the satellite, you know.
Yeah, and Sandra, you know, she's up there working and she doesn't necessarily want to be there. So she's not really trained or prepared to handle with disaster that's coming their way. So Clooney becomes the foundation of this survival that happens. And
a very strong voice of reason.
Yeah, and there's not much character development,
yeah, but there doesn't need to be.
Yeah, you immediately connect with these characters and then
Alfonso Cuarón, again, more, you know, props to Alfonso Cuarón for how he's able to pull you into the film in a way that, you know, if you get, you know, lost and carried away in the whole physics of things and how things work or what this actually happened, you're actually gonna miss a really great film. The film doesn't insult you in a way that it says, check your brain in at the front door, watch this film, and, you know, when you're done with the film, come back and think about it. It's not like that. It's actually told, it's a classic survival story told in space that it's actually told in a very artistic way. The score, the cinematography, everything about this film, I mean, even the 3D, how it's used as a tool. This movie Gravity was absolutely amazing in all those aspects, and how Alfonso Cuarón pulls you in, and it makes it so that a few things that actually happen in the film where you're probably thinking, would that really happen? Well, Alfonso Cuarón shoots this movie in a way that it's actually pretty forgivable, because you're the whole time you're just kind of sitting back and just enjoying the ride.
Yeah, you wanna just roll with it. In the end, you might think back and you're like, how'd they do that?
Yeah.
But it's pretty amazing, the cinematography and how they did some of these shots. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised and you know, enjoy the ride. It's an emotional roller coaster.
Yes, absolutely. There's several moments where, like I said, I keep coming back to the 3D, but it was absolutely amazing. It's one of those movies that I would say probably one-ups. What was that last movie we saw in 3D? Avatar.
Yeah.
It probably one-ups that one, like, and then some, just because there's
used to the 3D. Yeah.
Yeah, there's this sense of, you know, if she doesn't reach out and grab a hold of this part of the space shuttle or this part of the satellite, whatever, you get this feeling of she's gonna tumble off into this infinite abysmal nothingness. You know, you're actually holding your breath the entire time when when our characters are drifting through space. You know, you're
Yeah,
like,
if you ever felt helpless on Earth, like you're all alone, imagine being out in space.
yeah,
There's nobody out there. I mean,
yeah, it's an amazing story.
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah, and another thing, coming back to the story, what makes a story such a, I would say a personal story for me, was how George Clooney's character plays a strong voice of reason. You know, I think Sandra Bullock is there. She hears this voice in her head, and I think everyone sort of has this sort of voice that they listen to, whether it's themselves, whether it's a family member or a friend or their faith. Everybody has this sort of voice that pulls them along and tells them to keep moving forward. Something that inspires them to say, you know what, I'm not going to give up. I want this that bad. I want to, you know, how bad do I want to move forward, you know, in my life? And I think the thing about George Clooney in this movie, you know, and again, as much as there's not a whole lot of character development, Alfonso Cuarón does a great job of giving you just enough to connect with these characters in that way. At least that's how we received the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I definitely recommend you go see it.
Yeah.
And enjoy it for what it is. It's a beautiful movie.
Yeah. All right, so that's our movie review. I scored this movie 9.5 out of 10. What'd you give it?
I agree. I think it's a 9.5 out of 10.
All right. Well, there you go. Check it out. That's our movie review. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
All right. Hello, beautiful people. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Akira.
And I'm KyAlea.
And this is our movie review for Gravity, directed by Alfonso Cuarón, starring Sandra Bullock and George Clooney.
What? I'm supposed to start talking about the 3D?
Okay,
I didn't know that.
I'll start.
You
I'll
just
start.
looked at me. Okay. You've got two amazing characters that really, you know, okay.
Very good.